Well, good morning. It's a it's January 25th this morning, and it's about 40, maybe a little over 40 degrees. And I want to talk to you about propagating rosemary uh, from cuttings. So we're going to take some cuttings this morning, and even though it's this cold out here, the bees are all over it. I have a couple beehives back here, but uh, so why do we want rosemary? Well, the most common reason is in the kitchen. You know, somebody sent me a message about having rosemary in their sourdough bread, and I like it, of course, in chicken or eggs or whatever. I mean, it's just a little bit goes a long ways. The other thing is, rosemary likes to be abused. You know, it's one of these things that I'm in zone 8 in Arizona, Hereford, Arizona, and rosemary will survive down to about 10 degrees. This rosemary in the middle, this is, I don't know, 20 years old maybe, but in the middle it froze out one year. It was, what happened is we got warm. I think it was early spring, and we were 75 degrees for a couple weeks. And then all of a sudden it dropped to 20. And so that sudden change killed some of it, but it came back and it'll do fine. So very little water. It it it'll do better on the dry side. We're in the high desert, and it loves this environment. Um, Tough as it can be, and so you might ask, what type of rosemary do we want to plant? And the truth is, any type of rosemary will work in the kitchen. You know, there are some varieties that are Tuscan blue, or some of the others that might be a little better than others. But uh, the truth is, if you're walking through a Home Depot parking lot and you see a big, pretty um, rosemary plant, take a little pinch off of it, and you can start your own rosemary. So I'm going to show you how I do rosemary from cuttings here. Another reason to plant rosemary is it blooms in the winter, and the pollinators, not only do they love it, but they need it. And so what I'm going to do here is take take cuttings about this big, couple inches. And I know this is flowering and it's probably not the best cutting, but it'll work just fine. I'll do a bunch of cuttings that big. And what I'm going to do is strip, let me see if hopefully you can see this. I'm going to strip the bottom, about half of that cutting off like this. Okay, and I'll do a bunch of those. Let me find some. So I'm going to take that one, strip the bottom. Okay. I'm not going to bore you with all the details here, but okay, so now let's go to the next step. Well, let's talk about some of the tools we need. And of course, need a little pair of pruners. If you're just going to snip a piece off from a friend's or the Home Depot parking lot, uh, just pinch a little piece off and you're good to go. And get it in water or soil as soon as possible, but it's good. It's tough. The next thing we're going to need is some rooting hormone. And do you have to have it? Probably not, but it seems to work a lot better. I like this Hormodin 3. I buy a big thing of it, it lasts forever. And this is my rooting compound container, and I'll show you how I use that. Next thing we need is a 1020 tray. You can use a red Solo cup, and plastic on top with a rubber band works just fine. But for me, I'm going to use this And I like these deep cells. It just gives it more growth. And so I'm going to take my little cutting, I've stripped the bottom leaves off, and I'll stick it right into my skippy jar here. I drilled a hole. I'll hold my finger over it so it doesn't spray out everywhere. Give it a shake, and hopefully you can see, let me get up here, you can see the rooting compound on that. Little bit goes a long way. And so then all there is to it is I'm going to stick that cutting right down into my, you can use a dibble if you want, it's fine. Again, strip that bottom half off, hold your finger on it, go to the next one. We'll do one more. That one's got a couple little leaves on it. Okay, strip it off, stick it in there. Once I get on, this is a 50 cell container. Once I get it filled up, I'll go ahead and put my top cover on. I will bottom water and let that soak up and get wet, but not too wet. Wet, a little wet, and it'll be fine. Put it on some heat, somewhere in a warm window. Put it on a heat pad, whatever, and it will not take long before you have rosemary. Today is January 25th. I already said that, but January 25th. I planted these on 15 December, and I'll show them to you. And they actually came off of this same bush here, I think. But let me show you the roots here if I can. Okay. So hopefully you can see the roots that are coming out. These are ready to be transplanted. And so I'll get these in a bigger containers and let them continue growing. So there's really not a lot to it. It's easy to do. It's, in my opinion, one of the best herbs that you can have. And so go out there and plant some rosemary, and I think you'll be happy that you did. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you.